Ladies and gentlemen, live from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. Once again, welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans. 1977 episode 2261 of the show. How's it going, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed day and blessed night. Hope you guys are going to have some sleep, but try to stay dry because it's going to be a huge rainy weather tomorrow. They're predicting that, but who knows, you know. So we're going to talk about the final Dynamite before AEW's Double or Nothing. Remember, this company was started on that event 6 years ago, and believe me, it was a lot of fun. Tony Schiavone interviewed men's Owen Hart finalists, Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page, and these two had impassioned speeches that they're making them start to respect each other. Because they said at the end, listen, if you win, if Will Ospreay says, if you win, Adam, even though you beat me, I'll be happy for you. But if you need anybody to watch your back against the Death Riders, I got you. And I hope you do the same for me. And Hangman and Page kind of agreed. So, but they both walked away together. So it's big, and they looked at the cup and they looked at each other. It was the most impassioned speech. You got to watch the promos. Just even Will Ospreay blows my mind, and Hangman Adam Page. I mean, they're real life situations at home and families, and I'm, just the way they talked about that, it's just mind blowing. And I'm hoping that Hangman Adam Page, everybody's gonna want on it. In fact, that will be the double or nothing main event. I thought the Anarchy in the Arena will be. I believe they announced that the double or nothing main event will be the Owen Hart men's final. So then they went to as Jon Moxley and Maurice Shafir are entering the arena. It is an all-star trios matchup as Swerve Strickland and two members representing the Ops, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe. Join up against the against Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks. And in fact, Joe, Hobbs, and Swerve picked up the victory, but then Wheeler Yuta, aka Crackhead Bruce Lee, and Claudio Castagnoli keep Mox and help Mox and the Bucks out. Maria Shafir gets involved, attacking Katsuyori Shibata, who got involved. Will Nightingale gets involved. And then Kenny Omega starts coming in and clearing house once again. But then Joe addresses the Death Riders and the Young Bucks after the brawl, says, we're not done yet. We're going to come find you, and we'll continue this on. Then Alicia, too, interviewed the Search Syndicate as they were talking about the excitement of MJF joining up, and MJF was like, oh, we're going to be dressed up. And then the Hurt Syndicate says, we'll leave you guys to this. And then, MJF's fist bumping every member of the Hurt Syndicate. And then Alicia, too, was just standing there and looks at MJF, and MJF says, you can leave, too. Bye-bye. So they're doing a little business. Mark Sterling and the Hurt Syndicate's lawyers. So then they had the contract signing, and then they made it official. All three members of the Hurt Syndicate, and now MJF has signed it. MJF's part of it, but the Sons of Texas comes out. Dustin Rhodes MJF's running his mouth. Dustin Rhodes tells him to shut up, and he said, "I have a lot of respect for you three of the Hurt Syndicate, but watch out for this snake in the grass." I think Bobby Lashley kind of understands that. So, but then Renee Paquette interviewed Kazuchika Okada, and the Continental Champion, and decides to call out Mike Bailey for Double or Nothing. And I'm sure Mike Bailey tried to issue the challenge, and so I think Okada just answered the challenge, basically. He goes, trust me. Wait a minute. Does Okada got Jake the Snake Roberts as his mentor now? That will be something. Meanwhile, Anthony Bowens, the 5'2 player, accompanied by Billy Gunn, went one-on-one with Ricochet. And Ricochet won through nefarious means and ends up picking up the victory. But Mark Briscoe was awaiting him with a stretcher. And then he puts Ricochet on the stretcher while they were brawling. And then when Mark Briscoe went to go jump off the top rope, Ricochet retreats like a coward that he is. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, that is embarrassing. Meanwhile, Stokely Hathaway and FTR addresses Macho McGuinness and Daniel Garcia, and they said that we'll see you guys face to face this Saturday night, the final before Double or Nothing. Then it was the women's Owen Hart finalists' turn as Renee Punk interviewed both of them. And then after they had some sharp words to say to each other, both women decided to fight it out. But then arrives the AEW Women's World Champion, the gorgeous, the beautiful, the curvaceous. And over the top funny, talented, and lovely. That's right. And she has a great smile, too. Toni Storm, the timeless one, has arrived. The 4-time women's AEW Women's World Champ. And then she ends up joining on commentary for the main event. This is like the first main event match for the lovely Mina Shirakawa and for the young Julia Hart as they both come out for their matchups as they go one-on-one. Mina Shirakawa's got developed quite the mean streak, and I think she notices what was on the line, and and she did a little of her dancing and all that, but so I think everybody loves Mina Shirakawa, everybody loves Toni Storm, so do I. This is a tough call for me to make. Who would win the matchup? But Mina Shirakawa ended up winning the matchup, and then Julia Hart decided to attack Shirakawa after the matchup. And then when Mina Shirakawa got Julia Hart in the figure 4, Sky Blue came out, make her presence felt, and then Toni Storm goes after Sky Blue. After they cleared house, Mina Shirakawa says, hold on. She grabs the AEW Women's World title. She holds it up, saying it's going to be hers. And then, as Mina Shirakawa puts it down, Toni Storm tries to grab it, and then both women grab it, and then a little punch in the face. And then, as Mina Shirakawa knocked down timeless Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa went over and Bret Hart style figure 4 around the ring post. Like I said, this is a different side of Mina Shirakawa. I think when it comes to that AEW Women's World title, you know she wants it. It's Mina now. Hashtag Mina now. Hashtag we want Mina. So, but I love Toni Storm and I love Mina Shirakawa. It's gonna be very difficult for me to predict on that. But then Renee Paquette interviewed the Young Bucks and said, hey, we're out of here. We don't want to get involved. And then Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs were hiding behind the curtains, attacking them as they left. And then the Death Riders get involved. Attacking everybody, putting everybody through tables, EVP trigger, and all this good stuff. So the Young Bucks standing there running their mouth. Oh, shut up, you stupid idiots. Yeah, and the other team got the upper hand until Gabe Kidd got involved, knocking Samoa Joe out with the briefcase with the AEW World title, and the Death Riders and the Young Bucks get the upper hand. So, Death Riders Elite, I should say. Young Bucks are elite, all right, elite jackasses. Young Bucks are equivalent if you split Jar Jar Banks in two. You got the Young Bucks. How about this? They look like the modern day version of Beavis and Butthead. Do you remember the old TNA name, Generation Me? That's what I all think about. It's me. They think about themselves. It's always me, give us, me. That's the Young Bucks for you. They think about themselves and no one else's. They don't care. They just joined the Young Bucks so they can be spared from getting beat up. I believe it's going to backfire on the Young Bucks for sure. What a dope. What a couple of dopes, I should say, that Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, no, Nick and Matt and Nick jackasses. You know, they shouldn't be calling Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. They call themselves the new human version of Beavis and Butthead. You know, and they smile like a couple of geeks. Can't stand the Young Bucks, man. I still can't stand them. You know, and you got Willie. You look like crackhead Bruce Lee. You know, and everything else in between. It could be a crackhead and everything else. So, that is it for the AEW Dynamite Event Center for from May the 21st, 2025. Thank you for tuning in. See you on the next episode. Tomorrow we got Press Your Luck. We got Rant and Ray. We got TNA. We got Collision. Once again, Collision is going to be on Thursday. This is going to be interesting fun. So I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. Until next episode comes rolling around. Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Do It for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.